Yo.
Hey, check.
Yo.
1, 2, 1,
Yo.
2.
That's how you do a mic check.
Hey, I'm Andrew Hyatt, and you're listening to Music Row.
Welcome to Music Row, a backstage pass to your favorite country artists. Here's your host, Leek.
Welcome to today's program. Today's guest is singer-songwriter Andrew Hyatt. Andrew is a Canadian Country Music Award winner. He also picked up the SiriusXM Top of the Country Award, and he has just released a new EP called L is 4. And we're going to jump into the program with Andrew explaining what life can be like for some artists once the tour wraps up.
We call that re-entry. You know, you do the hard re-entry. You burn out real hard for like a week and a half, drink a lot, and kind of get back into that, okay, that's out of my system now, and now what? But then if there's nothing, if you're just like waiting on other people to do stuff, that's a dangerous game for the brain.
Yeah. So what was some of your steps that you've taken to avoid that brain danger?
Honestly, just making sure my schedule is packed like 3 months out. If I'm not playing or I'm not traveling, then I'm writing. So it's just like making sure that there's at least 3 writes in the books every week. I feel like that's like the perfect number where I still feel like I'm accomplishing things and I still have a sense of purpose. Whereas if I let that slide, you know, I can do 2 weeks around Christmas or whatever. But then I start to feel a little stir crazy, and then I start to go down the rabbit hole of like, okay, well, I'm not writing, so I'm not creating. So there's no outlet. There's no shows on the books right now. We have nothing, you know, if there's nothing going on, it's just this wave of panic. And then you go, should I even be doing this? Is it over? Is it over?
I was just talking to Connor Smith, and he said that he goes a few days and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I got to start writing songs again. And he recently just had a break. I think it was just over Thanksgiving, and you're supposed to be with family. You're supposed to be chilling and that. He wrote 6 songs.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's
you got to get some sort of rhythm. You got to get some sort of habit.
You definitely have to stay on top of it. I feel, you know, again, being kind of running the management thing, it's been interesting connecting with the other parts of my team. So, you know, the booking agent, like my agency, and really just kind of coming up with the whole vision yourself and then sort of handing it off to everybody going, hey, we're going to do this alt country record that feels a little bit closer to what I've done my whole life on my own. So it's like alt country / songwriter. And then I want to take it out and I want to play it alone in small rooms and build hard tickets from the ground up the way that I used to years ago before there was anybody in the music industry involved. And, you know, it's like, so we're going to play 200-person rooms that can be configured to 100-person rooms, keep them real small, chill ticket price so people can afford to go, play it, tell the stories. The next time I go back, hopefully that doubles, and just grow it that way rather than just, you know, I feel like the model has been for the last 15 years, you kind of are creating not to create, at least in my world, everybody it's like, you're not creating to create art. You're creating to create art, but also create art that radio will play or X will play or what, you know what I mean? Like you're chasing something rather than chasing art. So it's an
or letting them chase you.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm just like, you know, we made a record or a 6-song EP, 7-song EP, got to the end of it, listened, and I was like, this just doesn't feel like where I am right now. So I went back in, made another 6-song EP, took my advance that I would have had, which would have been great to put, you know, into lifestyle stuff. But I was like, I'm going to record another 6 songs. I went in, sat there for 3 weeks with one of my best friends who's a producer. This guy, Derek Hoffman. And we just worked through songs day after day. We did 4 or 5 days at a time, take a couple of days off for the weekend, come back, listen, work through every single part to make sure that it felt right. There's just like something nice about that. There's like a pride in it, that even if it fails, you're still proud of it.
I know of a band who in the late 90s signed $1 million deal, went into the studio and snorted $1 million of coke. So when you talk about putting it back into the band,
that's a lot of cocaine. Yeah, that's a lot of cocaine.
But when you talk about putting it back into the band and putting it back into the art, that's what it's for.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
What you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I get that there's lifestyle stuff and, you know, there's a living and comfort and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
But
there's gear and you could lose. Yeah.
There's business.
Yeah. There's the business side of it. And also that's the product. It's like, you're never going to make money if you don't have the product. So it's like, at the base of everything else. You clear everything else away. You got to write songs. You got to have songs that are recorded. You got to put those out. You got to get people's attention with that. Beyond that, it's like then shows come, then charts come, then so on and so forth, right?
Andrew Hyatt is here. You know, I do this to you all the time, I think. You sit down, we barely hugged out a traffic issue that you had driving in Toronto, and it doesn't matter what the weather is.
No.
Toronto traffic has become its own thing now. I think people are comparing traffic worldwide now to Toronto traffic.
It's not LA anymore. They're like, oh, it's Toronto. Yeah. It's not New York. It's Toronto.
But good to see you, Andrew. I think it's been about 18 months since I ran into you last.
Yeah.
Probably a summer and a half ago.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was at
maybe Boots and Hearts.
maybe Boots. I think we may have run into each other actually at the Hardy show for a moment. I think I saw you for like a split second. Half second. And I was like, what are you doing? What's it? And I think you were headed to I think you were going to see the playoffs for the Panthers. Am I wrong on that?
I was.
Or you were talking about it anyway.
Was talking about going because I thought if there was going to be an NHL playoff game to go watch, I want to go down to Florida where it's going to be nice and warm. Yeah, and if you're going to spend a couple days, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And my thing, this is sounding like
didn't materialize.
Yeah. yeah. But my thing with the NHL finals is if you can go to a game, if you get the opportunity, go for game 6. So because game 6, you got a chance at seeing it raised.
Yeah.
The problem is game 6 is on the road.
Yes.
And I didn't want to go to Edmonton compared to going to Florida.
Yeah. Why would you? Yeah.
The ticket price, the hotel price, everything drops in half going to Florida from Toronto compared to going to Edmonton, it's Canadian city.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, yeah.
So, so I bailed on it all. Back to the Music Row podcast.
Yeah. Good intentions.
So yes, you're right. Sorry.
No, this is the best.
Shed of Dreams has a shed dog by the name of Olive.
I got you.
And Olive is interrupting today's program. You released an EP last year. L is for.
Yes, sir.
And man, so good.
Thank you.
So heartfelt. Knowing the backstory going in and hearing it for the first time, like I had an assumption of what this is a real breakup song.
Yep. Yeah.
Did you advance that with your ex saying, by the way?
That is, yeah. So she had heard a couple of the songs because when the separation happened, initially we were still living in the same house. So I was writing those songs like in my basement studio. Basically I wrote 5 songs over 5 weeks.
Right.
And I was still living there. So she was like hearing them. We were still amicable at that point in time. And then things, as they do, it kind of goes nuclear and in the worst case scenario. And then, so she had kind of heard it. I'm not sure if she had heard the song with her name in it that ended up being the single,
right?
And put out. So, that's it's tough on either side. I'm sure it's so not good. Great. Yeah, but it's
still so good. Yeah, and the message is to anybody dating a singer-songwriter, don't F it up.
Yeah,
because you might be in a song.
Yeah, it's true, man, and like that's the outlet, right? I always joke. It was cheaper than therapy. I ended up going to therapy and paying for it anyway, but it was cheaper than therapy to deal with it and go through all of that and just kind of get all those feelings out and kind of go through the motions of first you're angry, then you're sad, then you're bitter, and then you're, and then you're kind of not sure, you're kind of lost. So, and then you want to take a little bit of accountability. So there's a song that takes a little bit of accountability in it. And I feel like I spent the better part of the last year after that record kind of pointing the finger and blaming. And, we tour this record and we go out and we play. And then all of a sudden you get to the end of that and you want to talk about downtimes. Then you have downtime and you're still and you're quiet and you kind of have to take a hard look at yourself and go, okay, yes, there's fault there, but there's also fault here. So it's an interesting thing. It's like I have, there's 2 parts. I have a lot of pride in that record, but I also have a little bit of regret because I feel like you know, I told a lot of truth, but I also feel guilty that I kind of like pulled the rug out from under her in some ways and in those conversations. So.
Well, I think it's up to everyone involved and every listener to perceive the song as they wish.
True.
You know, not everybody knows all details of all relationships. And every song that you write is part you.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. It is true. And again, it's like you said, that is the danger of dating a singer-songwriter. It's like, if you're going to do it once, fine. If you do it twice, well, you're going to get a record written about you. There's
some beauty too, because you're writing a little bit of personal history. The history of Andrew Hyatt is now archived.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
You know, you've written hundreds of songs, maybe thousands of songs.
Yeah.
Over your time. I'm sure that when you're writing that song and going through the emotions that you are, it really took you away from that spot. I'm sure there's times where you're like, it's a really good song.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it perked you up. Like, hey, we got something here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, even now, coming back and listening every once in a while, I'll listen to that record and listen. Like, we went in single stereo mic on an acoustic guitar, played it, went in, sang it through, kept the takes with the most emotion. We weren't looking for perfection. We kept it really raw. And even now, going back and listening to it, I'm like, we made all the right decisions in that. It resonates the way it's supposed to. The songwriting is honest. It's very, it's like a neat and tidy package, which I'm very happy about.
I like how you say you weren't looking for perfection, because I use the same thing. I go by that same motto.
Yeah.
Let's not go for perfection. And I achieve that goal every single time. It is never perfect.
Yeah. It's like, it's actually way easier when you just accept how you are. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I really shouldn't be joining the 100-meter dash. Yeah. I'm not fast. So where's writing today then? Because you just came off tour. You did a bunch of dates.
Yeah.
It was the Mixtape Tour. And I want to talk about that because I think I would have loved to have been in the room with you maniacs, not seeing you perform, but on the bus and touring around, because I'm sure it was a riot.
Oh, it was a blast. We had the genius idea of putting a bar on stage, which in hindsight was a terrible idea, because you have three guys who all can put it back, but suddenly you're not just like waiting to get one or two. You know, the way we did that tour, for those that don't know, is we played 1 to 3 songs each, and we would rotate. So it was almost like a songwriter session, but with a full band live. We'd go and hang out at the bar behind on the stage. We'd drink, we'd hype the guy up. But then, you know, you get 4 shows in and you start going, okay, well, we started with a 26er of whiskey on stage between the 3 of us. And there's 6 songs left in the set and it's empty 4 nights in a row. So we have a choice to make. So naturally we just got a 40.
That's what I thought the choice was.
Yeah, it was incredible. We had so much fun. I think the audience loved it. People still they're like, what a great concept for a tour, because
it's part comedy.
Yeah,
it's part music.
Yeah, and it's like 3 younger guys going out, younger-ish in the industry. So it's like, we don't have this extensive catalog that can carry 2 hours of music. But when you combine those 3 people, there's enough top 10s, a couple number 1s, a bunch of top 15s in there. So suddenly the show becomes a little bit more entertaining for everybody.
No, I thought it was beautiful. And I'm speculating that there's a lot of laughs off the stage with that crew.
Yeah, it's a great crew. We all brought 1 or 2. There was 10 of us total on tour, and we all brought 1 or 2 guys from our own camps, and everybody gelled so well. We laughed till we cried every single night on the bus till 4 a.m. and just hysterically laughed. My face would hurt every single day.
So you had the same band backing everybody in your set, which is brilliant too, because the costs are way down.
We just ran it as one show. So you didn't get off stage. It's like the show started. One guy would go up, start playing. The other 2 guys were on stage at a bar. And then we just hand the mic off, introduce the other guy. And the show just ran for an hour and 40 to 2 hours, depending on how much we drank and how sloppy it got. And that was every night. It was awesome.
How many dates did you guys do?
I believe it was 32, I want to say.
That's a great run.
It was a great run. Not we do 3-4 days, day off, 3-4 days, day off. It was a nice pace. We got to enjoy it.
Was that, is your voice back? Cause you had, vocal surgery is not very common amongst your average folk, let alone as an artist. Not very common.
Yeah.
But something happened to you where
Yeah,
You needed it.
Yeah, so I had lost my voice in 17, end of 2017, 2018. No one knew what was wrong. I went to see a bunch of specialists here, a few specialists in the States. And it was actually this Dr. Jennifer Anderson here in town in Toronto. She was the person who kind of like helped Jim Cuddy through his stuff. And then a friend of mine, Jessica Mitchell, who's also an incredible singer, had some issues with her vocal cords. So she recommended I go to her, and she figured out that the issue is actually an esophagus issue. So I have a valve in my esophagus that had no tension left in it. So what was happening was I was having such bad reflux that my vocal cords were getting microscopic acid droplets on them, and they were so swollen all the time that for years and years it would come through as rasp, which I just thought was like a natural part of my voice. But what was happening is there was swelling on my vocal cords, so I couldn't get proper closure. So then what was happening was my the muscles in my throat, this is over explaining, but were forcing my vocal cords closed for so many years that they were getting stronger and stronger. And it's the equivalent of doing just like bicep curls every single day and then trying to and then all of a sudden you're trying to put your arms down all the way without stretching, and they just want to pop back up because you're not, it's like there's too much going on there. So eventually what happened is they got so strong that they were holding my vocal cords open. So I couldn't actually sing because I couldn't hold air back in my lungs. I'd wake up in the morning, or I'd go to sing and I'd go, and all the air would come out.
Was this happening while on tour?
It started on a tour. Yeah. I was out doing a songwriter. It was called the Dirt Road Stories Tour, I think, with Dean Brody. And we got to show 3, and my voice just like disappeared on stage at like middle of a show. Cue, never had having anxiety in my life. Suddenly I'm soaked in sweat night after night on stage. Can't figure out what's going on. And then we had to go from that with a 2-day break into a run. That was a full band run on the East Coast or West Coast of Canada. With, I think it was called the Get Loud Tour, I think, or it was Tim Hicks and Tebe were on that tour. Another couple Canadian guys. We went out and we were playing like fairly big rooms. We were playing like, some of them were arenas, some of them were, smaller venues, but still, you're in that 1,500 to like 3,000 person rooms, and your voice is not working. You're going like, this is not great. But yeah, it's back. I spent a year with a vocal coach out of Nashville named Chanel Guyton, and we worked on simple stuff like just chord closure, like literally going like, just getting my vocal cords to learn how to operate again.
A different flex.
Yeah. And I couldn't even do that for the first, I was so frustrated, but she never lost faith. She's like, I know we can do this. Worked through it. I had been diagnosed because of that with a thing called muscle tension dysphonia. So one of my vocal cords was not working properly as an added bonus. And very, very randomly, there's an artist named Devin Dawson who, like, I don't know him, but I have mutual friends, and he came out and announced, this is a couple years ago, that he actually had muscle tension dysphonia, and his voice, I could hear it when I heard the video. Like I almost got choked up because I was like, I knew exactly how he felt in that moment. So I messaged a friend, Megan Patrick, who is married to Mitchell Tenpenny, who's one of Devin's good friends. And I said, listen, you guys are in Nashville. The girl who rebuilt me is in Nashville. And the last I heard, he was doing the rebuild with her as well. So
it's interesting too, because there's so few people who deal with this. And if you do end up having it happen to you as, say, a common person, you're working in the Sudbury mine, you will never get it fixed. No, you'll just go, well, I guess I won't be singing in the choir anymore. And you'll just deal.
I guess I talk like this now. Like it doesn't, what I mean? It doesn't matter. You just sound like a smoker. Yeah.
But because this happens to you, it happens to somebody else. Now you've got a built-in network, and you're sharing. Yeah. And sharing this help.
Yeah. And there's been a few guys in Canada as well, like younger artists who, their management will reach out because just through word of mouth, people be like, oh, Andrew Hyatt went through something similar, and then I'll point them in the right direction. And there's been a couple guys that have had to go get surgery. So it's just, but the thing is, the business side doesn't always, they go, oh, you're just run down, or your voice isn't working, or whatever.
You're drunk.
Yeah. It's like something's wrong. But when there's actually a problem, the worst thing you can do is put an artist on stage and have them try to push through it, because then they get the yips. It's like golf, right? So or any sport, it's no longer, once the physical is fixed, if your mental is still like, if it's like breathing, if you start thinking about, am I breathing? When do I take a breath? Like if it's, as soon as it becomes not natural, then you have to remedy that. So it's even longer path. But if you can catch it at the beginning when it's just physical, then you're good.
Do you still have any like special exercises that you have to do to kind of straighten it out?
Honestly, there's ones that I should do, but I've gotten a little bit lazy with it recently. Like in the last year, like for the longest time, I wouldn't drink when I played, like I wouldn't, or very little in general. And
then you go out on the mixtape tour and that changes.
Yeah. And it changes. And then but then you're not thinking, right? So it's like, you're out of your head.
I'm blaming that Miller kid.
Yeah. TJ, he knows how to have a good time. He used to be a carpenter. That's an inside joke. But anyway, if you ever get him in here, you need to ask him about that specifically.
Because that's all he ever talks about?
No, like on the end of the Calgary date, like we all had one night. He's going to kill me for telling this story, but on the end of the night, in Calgary, that was his night where he got a little bent out of shape. Like all of us had at least one night on that run where we were like, all right, we flew a little too close to the sun. I'm going to dial it back by like 4 drinks on stage for the rest of the tour. And we finish the like main part of the set. We get called for an encore. He's like out the back of, I think we played Ranchman's in Calgary, and he is just like not doing well. He's beyond his limit. And he starts the encore. So he walks back out, and it was not a straight line. It was like gets out, and he always had this speech like, I used to be a carpenter, and I was a painter, and I'm super thankful that this song like changed my life, and I get to be a musician for a living. And he had this whole like beautiful speech that he very eloquently said. He's great with his words, and he gets up there and he goes, "Hey, Sri Carpenter." And then the band just looks at each other and just like goes right into the song. They're like, make him stop talking. It was incredible. Sorry to sell you out there, man. And next time if you're ever in here, you'll sell me out, I'm sure.
I think that guy, especially TJ, does he ever stop giggling? Like he just kind of has a perpetual kind of, I'm ready to laugh.
Yeah.
About him.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying about going on tour with those guys,
Yeah.
him and Shawn Austin. And Shawn's got a young family at home, and this is a joke at Shawn and just me being an ignorant person. He's probably like, I can't wait to get away from the house for like 6 weeks or so.
Yeah. I've seen Shawn on a couple of dates, even post after the tour, and like he shows up, and the first time I saw him after they had the kid, I looked at him like, I have seen you after a 4-day bender, like when we have not stopped on the road. And I was like, and you look worse right now. And he's like, it's nice to see you. I'll see you guys at the show tomorrow, and hits the hotel room and goes right to bed, like just gassed.
Drinking, the hangover from drinks is one thing.
Yeah.
The hangover, when you have a newborn at home, you've never experienced anything like it. And you don't have to have a drink before you go to bed at night. You are on the clock, running ragged, and it's a world of discovery too, because you're not sure what this new child is talking about, and everything's a problem. So you're just always on panic.
It's like a mix of worry and inexperience, and then no sleep. I can't relate. I don't have kids, so I have no idea. But
you have a third kid, you'll give birth to it in a dumpster, and you'll see it in 10 years. You won't even care.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think the first one is a tough one.
Yeah.
Anyways, I would have loved to have gone out and checked you guys out, but there's more opportunities coming.
Yeah.
I see that there's some festival dates that you're taking the mixtape to.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how it's kind of caught on. People love the package that is the Mixtape Tour. Just it brings great value for the price of it, to like, a direct support slot, because you have 3 artists, kind of what we said. There's more hits built in, I guess you could say, for the price point. And it's great for us because we get to share costs, share a band. We love doing it. It's like hanging out with your friends. Yeah, it's incredible.
Well, I'm glad that that's going to be coming through. Let's get into this songwriting now. So you're going to be working on new material. Do you have a whole set of tracks ready to go, or?
Yeah, like we've got a song coming out February 12th. So I've got a 6-song EP that's like done. We recorded a year ago in January, and I've just kind of been trying to figure out the path with it, and just kind of get things locked in so everything lines up. So we've got that song coming out. There's 6 songs. We have 6 videos that go with them. There's some acoustic performances that'll be released kind of in between as well. And then at the end of this month, we're going to announce a tour that is leaning a bit more into the songwriter aspect of it. That's one of my favorite things live. Last year, I got to go out and do the Mixtape Tour with the full band and be loud. And then this year, I get to go out and we're going to do 20-some dates across Canada and just kind of strip it down and do a little bit more intimate.
Yeah, this is the redefining of Andrew Hyatt.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I put it out there online. If anybody had any questions for Andrew Hyatt, and Jonathan chimed in and he said, what is it like for Jonathan Simkin to write all of Andrew Hyatt's material? This is a joke, by the way. Simkin was very happy to send me that text.
Yeah. He,
president of 604 Records, owner.
It's great. It's great to have John, just as, the, what do you call it? What do the rappers call it? He's my ghostwriter. Jonathan Simkin, ghostwriter. Yeah, there it is. He's on everything.
He's definitely not an on-stage performer, unless you want it to be nothing but the truth in I don't know if you should have said it that way.
The best description that anyone has ever given me of John is that he's a double-edged sword. And I have been lucky enough, I've been lucky enough that in my experience with John, I'm a pretty level-headed guy, and so is he. So we've always gotten along very well, and he's always been very kind and very gracious and works very hard for me. We've had our disagreements over the years, but we always find common ground at the end of it. But yeah, it's I would never want to be the guy on the other side when I've hired John to go after them.
Sure.
Because it's not great. It's like, oh, damn, like this man is a weapon. So,
very intelligent dude.
Yes, very.
Very passionate about music.
Yeah.
And also recognizes that he's in a very fortunate position in his life. And I think like all that combination is wonderful, especially when you're on that good side.
Yeah. And I do think like John's fairness meter is there. There's a humanity to him that he's able to tap into. Like he's able to go on and off with it. And just, he really is fair in his like thoughts about the music industry. There's a lot of people that are just out for money and just out to, crush everybody in their path. But I think John genuinely loves the arts, and I think he genuinely loves music. And I know for a fact that he's been told many times that he would be significantly more well off and wealthier in his personal life if he just stopped investing in music, because, he has some great success in the past, but he continues to invest because he believes in it, which is great.
No, I love him. And it was funny to see his text come back so fast. When I actually sent him a note directly saying that you were coming by, because I know you guys are pals.
Yeah.
So you get this new song that's coming out in just a few weeks' time. Then we're going to see the trickle out of the EP after that, or when's the EP getting dropped, do you think?
Yeah, I think we're going to try and roll 4 songs out in like a 7 to 8 week space. And then we'll release the last 2 as like a bundle of the EP. So, you got, 32 weeks, and then the record comes out. So it's like, but there'll be new music every 8 weeks.
And then at that point, is that when you're heading out on the road, do you think?
So I'm going out even sooner. Like we're going to go out, again, not announced yet, but I think the end of March is like when we're going to start touring. So we're just going to put a single out, go out, kind of start supporting what's coming, and just really, really trying to build that like hard ticket songwriter style thing that happens. It doesn't really happen in Canada. It happens a lot more in like Nashville. And again, I know it's like cliche to be like, oh, Nashville, but it really does. Like if you think about the amount of people that will travel to an arena size show anywhere else in the world, I feel like the majority of people coming to Nashville, if they are coming to see something, the one thing that is on their bucket list, if they're music fans, is a songwriter night. So they're either going to the Bluebird, or they're going to I can't even think right now. My brain's fried. But yeah,
even say the Opry. I know it's not, you're still going to get some giant artists there, but it really is a songwriter night when you're at the Grand Ole Opry.
You get to hear the story behind the song. There's a little bit more of like an intimacy shared between the artist and the audience that you don't get that as much in Canada. I don't think. I mean, I think it exists, but hit me with it.
My thoughts.
I want to know.
The hard ticket, when you said that, it made it made me, warm inside because I've been saying this forever.
Yeah.
The touring in Canada is very, very difficult for a band.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of companies, bands, managers, whatever, they fall into a bit of a trap and they take big paydays at festivals because there's more money at a festival because of some festival grants that a festival receives.
Yeah.
So if a festival has $100,000 to put towards artists, they will put out that $100,000.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's the same bands that are touring through these festivals every year, and it doesn't develop that hard ticket for someone to go see Andrew at a show in my town next month because I know you're going to be playing one of the festivals coming up anyways. Yeah. So it takes away from you. You get that one hit that might give you, we'll just say $40,000 to play that gig, but you would much rather do 30 dates at $10,000 or $5,000, and the next year do 30 dates at 10 a piece and grow it, because you can't grow that festival stage.
No, you can't.
Almost impossible in Canada.
Yeah, it's very difficult to do that. And also festivals, costs for everybody has gone up. So not everybody has the $800 to spend to go to a festival for the weekend, or the $400 or $200 to go for the one day.
It's insane.
So it's like people are tapped right now. Maybe just in my world, but like I see it all the time. It's like everything is going up. So for me, I'm like, how do I get into rooms that I can be a little bit more like one-on-one with people, a little bit smaller, charge a fair amount? Like even with I've tried to do this my whole life, even with merch. My merch prices have gone, my cost on merch has gone up. I've always done very well in the merch world on tours. My merch is always something that substitutes or subsidizes being on the road. So, we just did a run of hoodies, and again, a little bit of a tangent, but my cost used to be like $27 on a hoodie. And my cost, I went with the most premium because I like good quality merch. I don't want you to throw it in the wash and it falls apart, or you can never wear it again and it looks like a box. It's like, I'm paying like $43 per hoodie.
Right.
And I'm selling them at $65 a hoodie, because that, to me, that's still a reasonable number to buy a hoodie. Whereas like, it gets harder when you're doing festivals and you're doing shows and the venue takes a 20% fee or whatever. You've got to go up a little bit. Even that, I try and keep it at $70. So it's like in some places I'm making like $3-4 on a hoodie. Like it's crazy.
Some of these venues have pulled back on fees, which is smart.
Yeah.
But they've also then on the other side jacked up their drink prices. And, so look, their job is to get people in their venue at the end of the day, and they're going to make money. I never liked the fact that they would claw so much away from the artists. I think that there's a point where there should be a little bit of a rev share.
Yeah, I agree.
You're taking up space in the venue.
Yeah.
And if that merch table could be 5 or 10 more people, 5 or 10 more people in a venue is 10 times the amount of drinks.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah,
and that's direct in their pocket. So I get that there's a little bit of a loss sometimes at some of these things, but I'm glad to see that, especially Live Nation, they were the big one who kicked in and said, look, we got to drop. And in some places they don't even charge, right?
Yeah. And I can see it from both sides. Everybody has an overhead cost, but in my mind, both with this style of tour, with like the songwriting style of tour and the merch, it's like, my goal is like, how do I just make it so that I can connect with people and make it more accessible? It's like, and I'm hoping that pays off in the next 5 years. We kind of have a 5-year plan where we start small and we keep building and building and building. And then, hope the dream is like in 5 to 10 years or 5 to 8 years, you're headlining Massey Hall. Like if you can do that and just focus and just keep going in this route. We've seen people do it in Canada, guys like Donovan Woods, who are these incredible songwriters who play these smaller clubs and kind of work his way up. He's also an incredible songwriter for other people. So he's got other revenue streams coming in, but it's just
but he has a good show too. Yeah. He's got a great stage.
Incredible. Yeah.
Very funny person to follow online too.
Oh, the live show is half comedy, half music. Like you die laughing the whole time. And then he like makes you laugh. And then he's like, oh, so here's the saddest song ever.
Yeah.
Like, you're like,
a song about complete heartbreak.
Yeah.
He put out something on social years ago and he said, I don't know why people complain about covering their car with a tarp, but a car costs $30,000-$40,000 and you put a tarp over it and everyone says, oh, you're douchey or whatever. He goes, I cover my barbecue.
Yeah.
It costs $35.
Yeah. Like great. Yeah. Great. Yeah.
Just very observant.
Yeah. Great observation for sure.
Let's talk about songwriting though, in the sense of he works with a lot of people. You've worked with primarily, I think, the same people for a good chunk.
Yeah.
Is that a comfort thing? Is that like you don't like walking into the room? Because I can't imagine, you walked into the Shed of Dreams today.
Yep.
I can't imagine me being someone you don't know and we got to jam out some songs having not really met.
It's a mix, man. I think my songwriting like path is a little weird. So I started, I started out as a songwriter with an artist deal, but then I was writing songs before the artist stuff took off, before I kind of started making money at it. So I was writing in the pop world for, I've got a cut with, and I wrote a bunch with this guy, Virginia de Vegas, who was down here. I had a couple country cuts before I ever had like an artist release on like a label. And then when my voice, and I wrote with the same people pretty similarly in that, I'd bring new people in occasionally. And then when my voice went away, I stopped writing because I was too worried to be in rooms. You kind of only get one chance, especially in Nashville. If people kind of write you off, that's how I feel about it. It's like I didn't want to come in and blow it. So I dialed back.
I don't know if that's true or not, but it makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's like
there's good logic in that.
Yeah, it's like if I'm going to spend a day with somebody and they come in and they suck, I'm not going to be rushing out to write with them again, right? But I was so in my head and so worried that I just couldn't focus on the writes. So I took a lot of outside cuts for like 2 years. And now the last 2 years, I've kind of been back into it. And I do write with new people consistently. Like I'm always cycling through, but I'm really just trying to find the people that it clicks with. You know what I mean? Every once in a while you walk into a room and it feels like you're shaking hands with an old friend. It just comes very naturally. Some people you got to work a little harder at it with. Yeah. And also people who just get it. Like I've never been one to chase for better or worse. I've never been one to like chase success at radio. Like I'm always just like, I would like to just make songs that I like. And these people are trying to make a living doing that. So that's not always the best approach for them, right?
That'd be like the people who are chasing success on TikTok today, where it could be closed permanently in North America forever. Yeah. And then what?
Yeah.
Now you gotta start somewhere else.
Well, that's the biggest thing with this record that we just did that is recorded and not released is I said to myself, I'm like, yeah, I can keep trying to chase this thing, but I feel like I'm on the back end of the wave, because if you're chasing what's already happened, then you're behind the long tail. Like you're on the back end of the wave, you know?
Country radio didn't play Jelly Roll until Jelly Roll was a thing. Like there was no way anyone would say that this guy has an opportunity until all of a sudden it was, and someone took a chance and someone said, and now look at what it's brought in. Yeah. The fact that Jelly and Post Malone are going out and doing stadiums like 50, 60, 100,000.
Yeah. But there's so many examples of that. There's Casey Musgraves. There's,
look at Florida Georgia Line. Yeah. They were the ones who probably took it from a real Alan Jackson country into a different zone altogether and opened it up for so many people.
Yeah. And there's also people who never get, like Zach Bryan doesn't get played really on radio, and he sells out massive arenas, like football stadiums.
You talk about Devin. Yeah. Z Devin, I believe, is his thing on the Instagrams and the whatever. Yeah. Zach Bryan's playing Nashville at the arena, and Devin Dawson is opening up for him.
Amazing.
Zach Bryan has probably 20 people playing in his band. Yeah. Let's whoever's opening come up and cover a song. So imagine Zach Bryan's doing his thing, and I know he released the rock record and all that stuff. Yeah. He just says to Devin, I guess you can play whatever you want. He goes, how about Killing in the Name of Rage Against the Machine? So I'm in Nashville and it's a Zach Bryan, a Zach Brown audience who probably are not really into this song. And man, did they all together nail it. It was so good.
It. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. You just got to do what you got to do what you do until what you do becomes relevant. It's like, that's my motto. It's like, I don't want to just chase this thing that could go away. Like you said with TikTok, it's like you can put all your eggs in this basket that you don't really love, and then that basket's not relevant, and then you've built this brand that doesn't exist. Like for me, I still want to be doing this in 10 years. I still want to be doing this in 15 years. And if that means that there's like a little bit of a reset and trajectory where we go back to playing smaller rooms and we're not just chasing the big paydays of festivals, like you said, right? It's like there is this trap where it's like, oh, that might be a bad look if you go and play. I'm like, is it a bad look to like play a room of 100 people and win 80 of them over to be diehard fans who then buy merch?
I think you win 100 of them over.
Yeah, but worst case scenario, you know what I mean? Let's say like I offend someone with my humor, because that does happen from time to time. But it's like, you know,
I think it's why you and I get along.
Yeah, but for me, I'm like, yes, there is the path of we put out a single to radio, it blows up. You put out something, it goes viral, and then you go and do this room. But there's also like the trap of waiting on that to happen, and it's like it could never happen. So what's better is like one block at a time or the whole friggin' house.
It's all songs. It's all about stuff too that you're not really invested in yourself, like that you're not passionate about.
Yeah.
It should be the stuff that you would just want to play around the campfire tomorrow or, you know, in front of anybody, as opposed to, I'm going to make you like this.
Yeah. And like social media is not real. It is not real at all. The amount of people that I've like seen who invest so much time, it kills me. Maybe I'm just getting old. I think that might be happening. You know, I'm getting up there.
You were younger when you walked into this room.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, like it killed me inside. I just started doing more consistent reels on TikTok or whatever, Instagram. And I always said, I'm like, I'll never be the guy that just like sings into the camera, because I'm like, I'm an adult male. Like I should not be doing that. What do? I do one of them. It's like the most, it's been the most, like the metrics on it are the highest I've ever seen. I'm just like, take me out now. Take me out now. If this is what all of my years of playing in high school garage bands has led me to, is singing into a camera for like 30-second reels.
Okay. Wrapping up with high school garage bands with Andrew Hyatt. What were some of the first songs you played on stage?
Man, I grew up really heavily influenced. Like I was really in church when I was young. So there's like
there's a Christian rock thing element to Andrew Hyatt.
Yeah, back in the day. So there's like two songs I can think of that are hilarious. If people look them up, there's a song called Jesus Freak by DC Talk, which is the greatest amount of cheese, but also influenced me so heavily. And then there was a song called, this is like another thing I remember a little later on. It was a song called Crystalina by a band called MXPX, which was just like a punk band. Yeah. And I still listen to MXPX.
Like a Warped Tour. Warped Tour touring
So
MXPX.
I kind of came from this strange world of like, praise the Lord to like, fuck the man. Like it was a very strange upbringing, and also probably confused everybody in the audience, but yeah.
Awesome. Andrew Hyatt, thanks for doing this. Looking forward to seeing new music coming out very shortly, and then in a cycle where it's going to be coming out bi-weekly or...
Yeah, every 8 weeks or whatever it is.
Every 8
weeks.
And then touring starting up, fingers crossed, this March.
Yeah.
Great hanging with you again.
Same. Good seeing you, brother.
Go find Andrew Hyatt on all the socials, on all the lines, and if you can, send him a message, a direct message, and maybe he'll sing into the camera for you.
I'll send you my OnlyFans.
Follow Music Row on X at Music Row Country. On Instagram at Music Row Official. Music Row is produced by Shed of Dreams.